Smash that like button and subscribe right now.
This video features materials protected by the Fair Use Guidelines of Section 107 of the Copyright Act. All rights reserved to the copyright owners.
Is this thing on? Hello everyone. Thanks for joining us at the bar. Don't forget to take care of your server, even if that happens to be you. Let's head over to the table to see what Bob, Jason, and Brian are up to today.
Okay, that's a little much, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Sounds like we've got a whole studio audience just waiting
like,
for us to walk in and,
like the applause button lit up.
Right.
So
it is Friday night.
Yes, it is. And we are without Brian again tonight. This is his second treatment for his anal warts. And
we think that was brought upon by his wife's pegging.
Yeah, I mean, you got to wash those things between, victims and whatever, So yeah, another outbreak and some more carbolic acid treatment around the bunghole.
Right.
What do you think about it, Brittany? Brittany's joining us tonight.
Yes, she's going to be featured often.
And their corresponding breasts and vagina. Yeah.
There she is.
All right.
That's never going to get old.
Right. So yeah, Brian's getting his butthole warts treated again, and so it's just Bob and I. No Taylor tonight.
Hey everybody, how's it going?
And
just to let you know, I'm running the controls, so if it's all screwed up, it's on me.
Yeah, we're not sure about this. I'm having problems getting into the chat, so I don't know what's going on there. I'm gonna try to. It says you received an invite, but it's outdated, so I don't know what that is.
Well,
and yeah, message at hey, but chat should be up, but for some reason I don't think mine is. So
yeah,
let's see if I can. Log out and then log back in as someone else. Okay, so log out.
Technology.
You got the at the bar lit. Yeah.
Yep. We are up.
And let me turn my phone down there. Some weirdo asking me about a nudist camp.
Oh.
So yeah. Okay. So there I am, and
you're in.
Let's see. I'm logging in right now, and it says I'm online. And there you go. Message. Okay. Let's try it. Anything? No. So, hey, there you go. That's going to be great. That's. I think that was a direct message, though. So, I think I got it. Check it out. Okay, here we go. Duh. There
you
is.
are. All right, Captain Snoodle is in.
That's right. Lucky.
All right. Captain Snoodle. How did you possibly come up with that moniker?
It's one of Brian's fantasies for me and him, and he suggested it. He's like, you can change it if you want, but I knew that he didn't want me to change it. So, that's all right.
Is there a height difference?
And between me and Brian, I don't know. I think we're about the same.
Okay.
Probably a length difference. So yeah, he's but I've kind of been hands off. I don't want his fucking anal warts.
Right.
I mean, that's ugh. And
until he gets done with that third or fourth treatment, however many he needs.
You bet. However many outbreaks. I don't know what he's going to have, but we're sending prayers out to Brian that his asshole heals and doesn't look, that he doesn't get cauliflower asshole. It's like cauliflower ear, except it's your asshole.
It makes sense.
I'm hoping it doesn't end up looking like somebody took a plum and squeezed it till it busted open. So Bob, tell us about your week.
It has been interesting. Okay, so last Saturday morning, I went up and got up and went and saw the new Aretha Franklin movie, Respect.
Yeah.
Okay. If it doesn't win all the awards, I will be shocked because it was just a great movie.
Yeah.
Jennifer Hudson plays Aretha.
Yes. I saw a little blurb with her on, I guess it was the Tonight Show or something like that. But that girl's voice, come on, man. Just so clear and clean and amazing. And she has kind of her own style, but they picked somebody good to do Aretha.
Right.
And that's awesome.
And, this story goes back, all the way to her youth. And I think that she was about 10 years old whenever she was, I wouldn't say raped, but there's really no other term to call whenever you've got a 10-year-old girl that ends up pregnant.
Yeah. Yeah, so, exactly. There's nothing consensual about that. And,
so, she ended up having 2 kids, I think, by the time she was 13, 14 years old.
My gosh.
And then, had her music career. And interestingly enough, I don't know if you've heard of the Muscle Shoals sound. No?
No.
Okay. There's a studio down in Muscle Shoals, Alabama. It's probably about 30 miles of where I used to spend my summers. And a lot of the black artists of the time would go down there to record.
Right.
It was called Fame Studios, Fame. The interesting thing was all of the musicians at the Muscle Shoals studios were white guys, but they had a really keen sound that worked real well with the black artists.
I'll be damned.
And so they developed their own style.
Right.
And they ended up getting their own label. And it was just a bunch of session musicians that were down there, and people would fly down there or drive down there and work with them. And that's what they did. They were the backing vocals and musicians, instruments, everything, and phenomenal group of guys.
Wow. And that, I'm guessing Aretha did a lot of recording there.
Actually, I believe that she only went there one time. There's an altercation.
And then what the fuck are we talking about?
Well, it was part of the movie,
right? Right.
And I've seen bits and pieces about this outfit that involved other recording artists,
right?
And I think she would have done more with them, but her husband at the time was also her manager, and he got into an altercation with one of the guys that was there, and it turned into a thing, and they left mad and
right. Man, there's something just wrong about husbands being managers too. Apparently, let's look at Ike Turner.
Well, and then
what do you think, Brittany? If your dad's manager, oh, thanks, Brittany. You just sit there and look pretty.
Yeah,
that's right. So yeah, it's like at least she wasn't choked out repeatedly like Ike did Tina.
Right.
Bitch, okay. I'm the one doing all this around here.
So. Interestingly enough, Aretha was part of the civil rights movement back in the day, and she did a lot of performing work for Martin Luther King Jr. And she even sang at his funeral.
Oh, wow.
Okay. And I got to thinking, how many times in various movies or reenactments have we watched Martin Luther King Jr.'s funeral?
Yeah.
Dozens.
I mean, yeah, I've seen several. I don't ever recall seeing Aretha Franklin sing.
Right, but I'm just saying, across the course of history, I've seen bits and pieces of Martin Luther King Jr.'s funeral. Right. Damn near my entire life.
Yeah.
Okay. I only saw my mom's funeral once, and I was there. I only saw my dad's funeral once, and I was there. But I've seen Martin Luther King Jr.'s funeral at least a dozen times, in various media outlets. So,
well, I mean, that's fame for you, fame or notoriety or whatever you want to call it. So yeah, it's that's not surprising, but
it's interesting how many different people intersected at that period of time.
Oh yeah,
because I was watching Aretha's story, and here's Martin Luther King Jr. I've seen other people's stories, and it's just interesting how
she's definitely
all those intersections.
She's definitely iconic, and during that time, I mean. Yeah, she's one of a kind.
Well, Queen of Soul.
Yeah, come on, that voice, man.
Yeah.
I love Aretha Franklin, but I was really happy with Jennifer Hudson how she did that. And
Do you think that they were just waiting on Jennifer Hudson to get old enough to look like she could be Aretha Franklin?
Maybe. I mean,
because Jennifer Hudson's been a star since she 16, 17 years old.
Yeah.
She was on American Idol, I think, and made it pretty far in that.
Yeah.
If she didn't win, I don't know. I don't remember if she won or not.
Brittany, do you have anything to comment on that? Did she win American Idol or? Fucking Brittany.
That's never going to get old.
No, it's not, man. And if we could teach her to do the controls, we got it made.
Absolutely.
And Brian can, step back and recoup.
Yeah. Okay, so I actually went and saw Brian today after his procedure. I didn't get too close, of course.
Right.
But it amazes me though that I actually was looking at what time I was going to arrive there, and I climbed in my car. He's 30 miles away. I'm taking 3 highways to get to his place, 8 miles of city streets, neighborhoods, everything else. I get in my car and GPS tells me, hey, you're going to arrive at his house at this time.
Right.
I arrived at his place at exactly the time the GPS said I was going to. That's taken into consideration rush hour traffic, 3 different highways, 8 miles of city streets.
Right. I think they use an algorithm for these roads. They say, okay, here's his entire route.
Yep.
And these sections of each section of this route at this time of day, this is the average of what it is. They've got that down pretty good.
Okay. Do you remember when our GPS first started giving you your route guidance or your estimated time to arrive someplace, and it'd take you 3 days to get from here to the bathroom?
Yeah.
It was just stupid, the amount of time that they wanted you.
And I remember when they turned off the they had GPS for a while. When it was brought to consumers, there was an inaccuracy, a programmed inaccuracy for civilian use.
Right.
And that was also to keep our enemies from, using that. But of course, that's been turned off,
I didn't realize it had been turned off because I knew at one point in time for civilian use, they'd only go to like the 6th decimal point, but it could actually go to the 9th decimal point.
It's from, I believe it was President Clinton that ordered that turned off. So, we have good, reliable GPS now, unless you're, and for some reason, Waze gives me some stupid ass routes. And I liked Waze better than Google Maps.
Right.
I don't know what the hell's going on. Anyway. Yeah. It used to be pretty good for me, but now it just tries to send me to weird ass places. So,
right.
Yeah. Anyway.
But still, it boggles my mind that I can get in a car and go that far. And you don't ever know if you're going to get 8 green lights in a row or 7 reds and a green. And
I think, their algorithm's pretty accurate based off of, the data they've collected, but it looks like they could apply that to help alleviate traffic jams. And, Marion needs a call in. Well, the number's posted on the screen, isn't it? Or is it not?
It's not, and I don't know
how to post it on the screen.
I don't even know what what the number is.
I know
put it in the chat.
Exactly, because I call Brian pretty regularly.
In fact, for a while there, you were the only caller.
Exactly. So
he was so happy. You could just see his eyes light up.
God, his little wart infested asshole tightening up.
Before you put in the number, we're going to have to plug in the good old phone.
Okay, here we go. Boom, there it is, right there.
Yeah, but wait a few minutes because it's powering up.
You can see we're really prepared.
We came prepared
for tonight's show.
Hey, we prepared for that bowl of popcorn that was in there on the counter.
No kidding, we were tearing that up. So hopefully here in a little bit, Marion can call in. But in the meantime, we already have one girl here. And, what do you think about that, Brittany? God, that's so much fun.
Okay. So I found out one piece of trivia today that I never knew before.
Okay.
Do you know why it's a bad idea to pee in the shower?
Why?
There's 2 reasons.
Okay.
One, your body will be used to peeing whenever water starts running.
Right.
So you could get caught in a rainstorm and then immediately need to go to the bathroom because it's raining outside.
I've heard that. I think you can get conditioned to it, where water runs and you have the urge to pee, but I don't know, man. I don't think that affects me. I'm a lifelong shower pisser, and I don't feel the need to pee when I hear water running. I feel the need to piss because I'm diabetic.
Well, there's the second reason, and you probably aren't going to suffer from this, but a female's pelvic floor
Right.
is not able to fully, what was the term that they used? Fully relax the bladder in a upright position. It has to be seated for that to happen.
Squatters. Mary wants to know, she's like, am I on hold? And
did you
Auto Rocks put boomer tech? Yeah, we're not quite boomers, thank you, but we're not.
Okay, Marion, I just turned the phone on. It was sitting there with a dead battery. People have been calling all week wanting to sell me an extended auto warranty. So,
Right, that's what Marion's wanting to know. Hey, we're calling about your car's extended warranty.
right, either that or to tell me that.
Bob and I are multiply controlling this thing.
Yeah.
Boink, boink.
All right, but if you call in now, I should be able to.
Yeah, if you call in now, we should be able to maybe answer it.
Because the only voicemail I've got is from Madill, Oklahoma, on Wednesday. Guthrie, 2 weeks ago.
Madill. What y'all talking about that weird crap for?
Yeah.
I'm not making fun of Madill. I love Madill.
Okay,
Dill pickle.
Speaking of loving things that are strange.
Right.
Salt.
Okay. Valuable.
Yeah.
Roman soldiers were once paid in it. Number. I posted it.
Captain Snoodle posted it for you. It's like 3 sentences above where you're at now.
So yeah, I don't know. Maybe my posts aren't coming in there.
So I was thinking, salt in its natural form is basically a rock, right?
Sure, mineral. Yeah.
Okay.
She said she don't see it. She probably knows. I don't know what's going on with there.
Here, I'll text it to her.
There you go.
Okay. So do you think people just started licking rocks to see which one of them was the best?
I mean, that could have been. I mean, people living near the ocean notice this, hard crystallized deposit, maybe some salt flats or something. And, yeah, you ever wonder how that came about?
Right.
How did we find out that, hey, let's peel the bark off of this tree and there's cinnamon, I mean,
right. Yeah, let's boil that.
Yeah, somebody had to taste this shit.
Right.
Someone's like, hey, this looks good. Nope, that'll kill you.
Right.
So, and there's actually a technique for testing plants in the wild. If you're, if you're for survival eating
right.
and stuff, but yeah, I want to know who the first guy was that got a hold of a fly agaric, the death angel mushroom. Been like, that was simply scrumptious, sauteed in some oil,
right?
And then 3 days later, his liver's destroyed.
Or the people that first tried the psychedelic mushrooms.
Right? Yeah, exactly. And they're like, you know what? Look at these little things growing out of cow shit. I think I'll take them.
Right.
And
but we're not going to eat them or cook them. We're just going to dry them
out and then
gnaw on them a little bit.
Yeah.
All right.
So, here we go.
Good evening.
Turn up the call.
There you are.
Can you not see any of my texts, Marion?
No, but I heard you bitching about me.
About what?
About I don't know. Apparently, we have texted it to her dumbass. Yeah, well,
I didn't say we had texted to your dumbass. You're hearing something.
No, that was just the inflection in your voice.
Oh, okay.
well, I'm just filling it in because I was like, I swear to God, I didn't get that.
All right.
Anyway,
I don't
hey,
know.
what's up?
Don't you have beer to brew?
Actually, I have beer to drink. I'm at the brewery right now. Y'all should be downtown at Core 4 Brewery. This is where they are releasing my beer next weekend. Mark your fucking calendars.
Well, okay.
Open at 11 a.m.
That's why we're not down there this weekend, is because we know the release party is next weekend.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Anyway, we have already brought some samplers down here, so you missed out.
Sweet.
Well, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm checking my text messages. I don't see that was broadcast anywhere.
Pretty sure I've been telling you about it, but whatever.
Okay.
Anyway, So Saturday, 11 o'clock a.m., they're releasing 11 o'clock a.m. kickoff. It's called 11 o'clock a.m. kickoff because 11 o'clock kickoff games fucking suck.
Yep.
But when you wake up, sometimes you really want a beer, but you still need coffee. So you got a coffee cream ale waiting for you.
Sweet.
Sounds awesome. I was actually down there whenever you were actually brewing it.
I know you are.
So,
And it is exciting. We are cold brewing the coffee this weekend. It will be added to the kegging on Monday, and it will be for sale coming Saturday, August 28th at 11 a.m.
very cool. Now you're doing this as part of the females.
Yes,
Female
the
brewing.
Oklahoma Women's Craft Beer Society. We are going to actually hopefully branch out and make it a national thing. It is a group of women. We are, well, all about empowerment, but at the same time, it is women being part of the Craft Beer Society and part of having brewing, and yeah, it's a good time.
You bet.
We also do things for charity.
Right. And, you know, so you got women working together, doing some brewing, enjoying some brews. I think that's a really good thing, you know. And
Well, another good thing that they're actually doing is something that is just for women. They did a drive this week, a charity drive. It's called, you're going to laugh, Beth, bear with me. It's called Period OKC, because this is actually something I, as a woman, was not actually made aware of. But there are girls and women that don't have access to feminine hygiene products.
that's horrible.
So they have formed a drive where, hey, donate, you know, pads, tampons, bags to hide these products, you know, make it, you know, little discretionary. And they actually collected over 4,000 products.
Oh, that's cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's actually a need that I actually should have recognized, but never did.
Well,
Until I was like, oh my
got
God, we're
four-
talking like homeless teens.
yeah, but
Well,
you've got 4 daughters apparently.
I mean,
Yeah, you should have.
I know.
you got to
Well,
figure. You got to figure there's a lot of women that, you know, that are underserved by the community, you know, maybe homeless, maybe, you know, poverty's a big thing. This is a luxury, you know, for some women.
Absolutely.
And it shouldn't be. I mean, you know, you don't want to get toxic sock syndrome. And sorry, I couldn't resist.
You just said sock.
Did you see what I did there?
I did see what you did there. But no, it's true, though. It's true.
Yeah.
It's actually, that's why I'm surprised. It's a need I never recognized
Right.
until now. I'm like, you know, it never even occurred to me. But of course, there are homeless teens that are going to high school that don't have access to these products.
Yeah, that's.
I mean, it seems like it ought to be, but it's not. Just like a Band-Aid. You think about a Band-Aid. Oh, I can get a Band-Aid anywhere. You know what? Maybe you can't.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. Well, you know, and look, everybody, you know, it's not necessarily a super popular subject, I would guess, to, you know, for a charitable drive or something, you know, but it's definitely a necessary one. I mean, look, we've got people out, you know, feeding the homeless and trying to do that, you know, medications and clothing and things like that. But absolutely. And even personal hygiene products, you know, like soap, deodorant and things like
Right.
that. But I can see this being an issue that kind of falls, you know, through the cracks, no pun intended.
That a bigger need, God damn it, a bigger need than even say deodorant or this that, and that. I mean, it really is. I mean, it's
Yeah.
a big deal,
It
especially when
is.
talking about teenagers and this and that. I never realized it, and I got to tell you, I swear to God, if I won $1 million, there is a place in, well, Mississippi that I would absolutely donate to, because there are truly people who are in it to help the needy. It's not about, I'm going to give it to my church. Yeah, fuck your church.
Fuck your church. You got it.
We need that on video, on audio,
We,
Club, just to play that on.
Yeah,
the
well,
regular
you know
basis.
what? Put it on there. It's true. I have never seen a church give back to exactly what they need to do, but I have seen smaller charities do what they're supposed to be doing. So you know what? Swear to God, I won $1 million. I'll pledge $100,000 to this woman in Mississippi.
That's awesome.
And she knows who she is.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's awesome.
Fantastic. But yeah, that's definitely, hey, I'm all about good causes. I don't think.
Yeah, so it's not just about drinking beer. It's all about, helping the community.
And drinking
So
beer.
the guys are drinking beer. Yes, if we can drink beer and help the community, we are all about that. And that is truly what this is
You
about.
just
So
don't want to drink too much beer when you're
28.
passing that out. You're bleeding.
But the 28th, y'all should come down here. You should have it because this beer really is amazing. I've been brewing it for about 4 years.
Okay.
It's a big deal. Everybody knows this beer and everybody loves this beer.
So,
yeah.
Okay, so I was scrolling through Facebook the other day and I saw that, what was it, 12 years ago, you got your very first home brew kit?
9 years ago.
9 years ago.
9 years ago. Yep.
Remember when y'all dropped the spoon in the pan on the first, because when y'all went, I was there for that.
You were there, Jason.
Yes, I know.
Yeah.
And then it just exploded from there into the meth lab looking thing in the garage. And then
It did. It did. Both of y'all were there for my first ever brew. And here's a little bit of funny knowledge, and I hate to be this person to bring it up, but there's a little bit of misogyny, which is exactly why there is a women's craft brew society. Because
definitely.
hang on, hear this. So I was asked to speak at their meeting last weekend to talk about brewing and women being blah, blah, blah. So anyway, they're actually doing a magazine article, which I wasn't made aware of, and I wish to God they'd made me aware of because I would have looked a lot better. Took my picture. We're going to be featured in the 405 magazine next week, or I say next week, maybe next month, about women in brewing, and I'm featured as well as the Oklahoma Women's Craft Brew Society.
That's
very
awesome.
cool.
And it was said to me by a woman, "Hey, talk about how Nick got you into brewing," and I went, "Whoa!" I'm actually the one who started it.
Yeah.
And it's a true story.
And then you went home and just beat the shit out of Nick for
come
no
on,
reason.
Come on, Nick's wife, get with the program.
Exactly. I would definitely say it's definitely a boys' club, and or typically has
It
been.
truly is.
And there's no reason for it to be. I mean,
I mean, there's only 4 ingredients. Most women can remember that.
Holy shit.
Oh God! Hey, so let me say this though. But let me back this up. It is typically a boys' club, but let me say this. It's not a boys' problem. Every male that I've encountered in this brewing society are inclusive of women. In fact, they want more women brewers. The problem is that women are typically intimidated by it, but seriously, they are an encompassing.
Well, it's like boiling water. There's not much difference between that and doing the laundry.
Oh, God fucking damn it, Bob. I swear to God.
Marion, I think what it is it's the equipment, it's the technical end of it. The same reason that you don't get a lot of women. Well, you do a lot more now, but typically they're outnumbered in any kind of, STEM fields, engineering and things like that. But I've known some women engineers that are, exceptional.
Yeah.
And it's I think that's kind of a lot of it. You said with the intimidation, but also, interest. I mean, if they knew, if there was somebody there to teach them, I think they would enjoy that. And that's why I think this is really a good idea. I think you've started something here, and I think it'd be great if you went national on this.
Yeah.
Well, I would love it. I'm actually not the one who started it. I'm just jumping in on it and helping promote it. So, I mean, seriously, women are all about the craft beer. They're all about promoting it. They're all about brewing it. Seriously, we're up and coming. So watch out.
Okay,
but it's not a competition. We just want to be in the game.
No, that's awesome. And so why the fuck are we talking to you if you didn't start it? Put the real person on.
In fact, my beer next weekend on the 28th, I don't know how many people are listening, how many in Oklahoma City, August 28th, 11 a.m. until closing at Core 4 is going to be a coffee cream release. It is a football beer.
It's excellent.
I have an entire sports series, but this is the first of 5. Now, come and enjoy it. Yeah. It is a woman's beer. It is a fucking delicious beer. You'll love it.
And so you guys brewed a barrel, which is what, 31 gallons?
We brewed a 3-barrel system, which is 31 gallons. Yes.
Okay. So 31 gallons. So
It won't go in one day, but it should go fairly quickly.
Shouldn't you
Seriously,
make a-
I have brewed this beer. The first time I brewed this beer 4 years ago, which, by the way, two men who had been brewing beer for a long time went, that beer will never work, Mary. And I went, you know what? Fuck off. I'm going to do it anyway. Was the biggest giveaway and the first keg kicked at Zoo Brew about 4 years ago.
That's awesome.
That's amazing. Shouldn't you be
I could send you video proof of it.
Shouldn't you be brewing a birch beer? You birches.
Yeah, I should, except that's a root beer. Root is actually, yeah, there's, whenever you brew root beer, it is a birch beer. And my birches, we're not about some root beer.
I mean,
we're about some real beer.
We're all about you birches getting with our roots, but that's,
that's a totally different subject.
It's a different subject. So, it's a, well, I'm glad that Nick showed you all the ropes on this.
Okay, again, I'm the one who started the fucking brewing process, not Nick.
I know. I think that's fantastic.
Now, here's my only problem, Mary. We've known each other, 25 years?
Yeah.
For the first several years of that, you had very, very stringent beer requirements, and it wasn't good things.
Sure.
It was Bud Dry, Bud Ice, and I think finally after those two were discontinued, you went with Bud Light.
Sure.
And now then you're drinking stouts and porters and talking about, coffee cream.
Now I know what I'm talking about. Yep.
Well, how did
I can school you on beer, son?
Right, but I just want to know how you got from there to here.
Well, I got from here to there because I started branching out. I opened my mind, I opened my taste buds. I started trying. I started realizing what beer styles were. And I could appreciate them on so many different levels. And of course, age, when you're a kid, your taste buds are fucking limited, like macaroni and cheese. I got to have the craft powdered bullshit, right? But as you get older, your taste buds expand. Well, it's the same thing with beer here. I opened my mind. I wanted to taste it. And you know what? Jesus Christ, stouts were my in. I fucking fell in love with stouts. I brew stouts now, and I've got some amazing stouts that you would love, Bob.
Yeah, but there were years I would try to get you to try a Guinness, and you'd look at me like I had 3 heads.
You know what? I'll still look like you got 3 fucking heads. Guinness is shit. I can brew you 3 different kinds of fucking stouts that beat the shit out of Guinness.
So how many stouts have you had currently right now, Mary?
that I particularly have brewed about 4.
That you have drank this evening.
I haven't had one, but you know what? I'm going to go in there and have one in honor of you. I'm going to shove my thumb in it.
I'll tell you, I think it's like anything else, if you were raised on canned vegetables, the first time you get, fresh green beans, you're like, what the hell, so it's the same, our palates develop as we're exposed to those things. So we're exposed to what's in the grocery store and the gas station and on tap at your local bar, and a lot of people, when it comes to beer, they're not interested in trying new stuff. And a lot of that's changed.
They're more familiar.
Right. With the craft beer revolution, a lot of that has changed. So of course your palate has matured and it intrigued you. I think it's great. I just love how it started out on a pot on the stove and a make your own beer kit. And now it's turned into this.
You were there, Jason. Yeah. I actually literally posted a picture of that. See, this is exactly what I was talking about. The night I bought that fucking beer kit was yesterday, 9 years ago.
That's unbelievable. Talk about picking something up and running with it. That's
and fantastic. Isn't it funny because everybody assumes Nick is the one who got us into craft brewing? It was me.
Well, yeah, because once again, it's a boys' club. We're like, wow, that's great that your husband got you into that. And you know what?
Yeah.
And you can change that attitude. And that's what you're doing right now is you're working on changing those attitudes and saying, hey, and, I'm sure there's some awesome women brewers all over the nation. And
dude, there are right here in Oklahoma City. There are.
There you go. So it's it's important. Yeah, it's not just a man's business and a man's game anymore. And women drink beer too. We know that. Thank God they drink beer.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that keeps your dick happy.
That's the only way they'll put up with us and shit. No. but yeah, so absolutely. And I'm sorry we missed the brewing of it. But I definitely
Bob didn't.
I know Bob made it in there.
Hey, be here for the release of it.
Oh, I
I
want to be there for the release of it because so when we all met over at the old Brewers Union, you remember that when we all got together?
Of course.
Yeah, that is fantastic. It is the most unusual thing you're going to find out there. I think you can market this and it'd be big. There's a lot of people doing this, doing these craft beers, and you can find just about everything you like. But I would say that was my favorite, is that coffee cream ale.
It's amazing. So be here next Saturday, because seriously, now it was brewed on beer system. It is scaled up from a home brew, so it could be different. I don't know. We're going to find out next Saturday. But you know what? It's not going to be so vastly different that it's going to be terrible. No. Y'all show up, come drink it. Let's do it.
All right, absolutely. Yeah. I'm excited. I'm hoping to drink a lot of it and then end up crying and then telling y'all all my problems while I lie on the floor in the fetal position. So
as long as you tell me how much you love me and have always desired me, Jason, I've always suspected it.
Right? Exactly. That's what I'll do. So yeah, that's very exciting. I'm definitely going to try to make it. Bob has no excuse at all.
No, he doesn't. He's done. He knows.
So, and Brian,
I'm not even looking for an excuse.
He's like, I'm going to be there.
Yeah,
I'm just trying to shift it back to you.
And by the way, Bob, I will bring a stout from the house that is my Stephen Adams stout that was brewed. You'll love it.
No, y'all brought me a growler of that several weeks ago.
Oh, that's right, my boxing cows. Yeah. Yes.
That's awesome.
Yeah, boxing cows. That was a term that she dubbed.
You should create one called Pegging Nick.
How do you know I don't?
It's a small batch brew, but it's for anyone that says, so your
it's a micro brew. It's
they're like, so your husband got you into this. Try this.
There's a reason he keeps.
My husband did not get me in this. I got me in this. God damn it! Quit giving credit to men.
There's a reason Nick keeps growing peppers. He's trying to fight fire with fire.
Right? He's like, you know what? Stop this business. No,
I'm rolling inside, fellas. I love you guys. We'll talk to y'all soon.
All right.
Bye.
We'll talk to you later. Bye. That's exciting, man. I think that's great, and I definitely would like to make it down there.
Yep, I'm planning on it.
Janie and I can get down there and suck down some beers.
Okay, so
I want to Uber to the damn thing because that way I can drink several of them.
Okay, so beer's basically your grain, hops, water, and barley malt.
Yeah.
And that's it. And I think there's some kind of German purity laws or something from back in the day.
Purity laws on beer. It says it will only contain these ingredients.
Right. So they don't have the chocolate milk stouts and the wheat berry ale and that kind of stuff. It's beer.
But they've got some wheat beers.
Oh, they do.
Yeah.
And my first wheat beer from Germany. There was a little restaurant over in Choctaw, the old Germany restaurant. Yeah. They used to have a Oktoberfest thing. It was the best. It was like drinking a liquefied loaf of bread.
Oh, wow.
It was a very, I don't know, strong wheat beer.
Yeah.
And the wheat was just intense in this thing. And I really enjoyed it.
I like a real nice malty, beer. I'm not an IPA guy. It tastes grassy and flowery to me.
Yeah.
It's
good there's too much twang in that IPA
I don't care for IPAs, but your porters, your stouts, and oh my gosh, man, I love those. And they're usually, a lot of them are one and dones. It's not that's why your lineup is on regular beers is your pilsners and things like that are drinkable. Right. I mean. But there are some stouts that are drinkable, but usually they get a little heavy after a while.
Right.
Well, some of them have the higher alcohol content, so you're gonna you don't need a whole lot of them.
Well, I was in a little bar a decade ago, and I ordered a Guinness, and the gal didn't understand what I said or whatever, but she brought me a Belhaven Scottish stout.
Yeah, I've heard you talk about the Bellhaven before.
And that was actually a better beer than the Guinness.
Wow.
And it's always consistent. So I've kind of switched over to that one. But yeah.
Oh yeah.
Stouts.
I'm just a big fan of the left-hand milk stout. I think I mentioned it before to Marion.
Yep.
I love the nitro. The
nitro pours.
Oh my gosh, that it has such a creamy,
Right.
head on it. What do you think of that, Brittany? And there she is. Speaking of creamy head.
Yes.
So yeah, there we go. I mean, we've covered beer and
Okay. So back to the salt.
yes, salt. We've known about it for thousands of years.
Okay.
Somehow,
If you look in your pantry, it'll have an expiration date on it.
yeah.
It's salt. I mean,
there's no
sitting
expiration.
inside the earth for 100 million years, and all of a sudden now it's
Yeah.
here. You're glad they minded that in time because we barely got it out of the earth before it expired.
Yeah. Yeah, that's I don't understand that. That's it's all business. They like putting expiration dates on things.
Well, I think New Jersey is responsible for that because New Jersey had a law that said that every food product sold had to come with an expiration date. And so
I wish their shows would, too, So, yeah, I mean, we've all heard that Roman soldiers got, salt as part of their pay.
and that's where the term salary comes from.
Yeah, exactly. And, well, people have been, living near the ocean for forever. So, you're catching fish, you're swimming in the ocean, you can taste the salt or whatever. And then there's this deposit buildup or maybe they got the water and and it evaporated and they were like, what's this stuff? And they taste it and go, oh, it tastes like the ocean. And you know what? When we put that on food, it tastes good. I mean,
Well,
and
I
then
would
they found out it
imagine that
preserves,
I would imagine that they were probably making stews and other dishes out with salt water.
You bet. Yeah.
That's what I would.
Yeah, and it tasted different when
Yeah.
they used it out of the local mud hole that a hyena had been shitting in. So
Okay, so speaking of local mud holes, hyena's been shitting in. I thought of something bizarre earlier this week, and roll with me on this one for a minute.
okay.
Okay, at what part in the food system does food become sanitary and sterilized?
What do you mean? What part
Okay.
of the food system? Usually when it's
Let's say they're harvesting sugar cane.
okay.
And you got a bunch of guys out there just harvesting sugarcane. Somebody's got to take a shit. Well, they're not taking the Ford family truckster all the way back up to the
Yeah.
convenience store to drop a deuce. They're going and popping a squat in the sugarcane field.
Maybe, possibly, yeah.
Okay. I mean, there's not somebody standing there with roping that area off, now deeming that as being a,
I just picture some guy bent over spraying liquid
Liquefied-
shit up into the peaches or something. So
Okay.
yeah, I'm sure during harvesting time, there's usually porta potties and stuff put out, but you never know. I mean,
Right.
maybe he's got a
quota to meet.
maybe he's got a use
But
a
I was
small
just
trash bag
thinking,
in the tractor or something.
At what point in the food system do we go, okay, this stuff's been plucked from the earth and
The processing, during the point when we're pressing the cane, and,
Right.
and depending on what kind of sugar we're making, or sugar beets when all that stuff. So it's a process. So there's heat and things like that
Yeah.
has to be. I mean, I would say that's the point, But even then, if you look at some USDA standards and stuff, there's a certain amount of insects that are allowed in produce,
Right,
or
there's
rat hair in tuna or some shit,
or there's a certain amount of rat shit allowed in peanut butter.
sure. And
It's a very minor, small amount, but
you bet. I read something one time about the sheer dollar amount to the tune of billions and billions of dollars that rats cost us in food every year in spoiling food. It's unbelievable. And, that's why, pesticides and things are, multi-billion-dollar industry.
Right.
And then these rats are just, God, rats are responsible for more, I think, food stuff damage than any other critter,
yeah, unless it's like a swarm of locusts.
right? Like the
That's coming
army,
across
the army worms we have going right now, marching through, munching on yards in the metro.
Where is that coming from?
I don't know, but you know, if we should hire the marine worms to, you know, counteract them. I don't know. You know,
bring in the Soviet army worms and tell them.
Have a meat head on.
Yeah.
I'm not sure where they come from, but yeah, you know, and I think it's the triazonon or triazoside or some shit that'll work, but I'm sure the shelves are empty of it now because the news has mentioned it and things like that. Pest control guys are having a hard time getting there, and it's just they're destroying lawns. But you know what? Man, it's the cycle of things, you know.
But I've never even heard of these worms before.
They're like gypsies. They just move through and fuck everything up and
move on.
Yeah,
move on to the next town.
Yeah, that's kind of how they do shit. So yeah. And I found a few in my yard, and this is the first year that I've actually really got my front lawn looking decent with some grass in it. There's still some areas that I'm working on, you know, but of course they've come and fucked it up for me.
Right.
So, you know.
Okay, so you've heard of Pappy Van Winkle bourbon, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Okay, rolls in at what, $2,500, $3,000 a bottle, can get up to $5,000 a bottle depending on how old it is.
Yeah.
Okay.
A little ridiculous, but yeah.
So, you know, I'm a rum fan,
Right.
not really a bourbon fan. And, you know, I'm not buying the stuff out of the half-gallon plastic bottle at the bottom of the shelf that...
Right.
Is
the low-grade shit.
Right.
Lighter fluid. Yeah.
But I'm not buying top dollar, $100 a bottle, $500 a bottle, anything like that. And, you know, I was just thinking, you know, what is the difference there between, what are the nuances between
Marketing, prestige, and horse shit. You know,
that's where I'm at.
People look for things. People like to be elite.
Okay.
People love that. I'm you know, frequent flyers club. I'm you know, whatever. People like to be elite and to be set aside, especially if they're powerful or wealthy. They're like, I don't want to be grouped in with these motherfuckers having a bottle of, you know, of Ron Rico or some shit.
Right.
You know, they want their own thing. Oh, this, you know, this wine is this. I'm not saying that the quality isn't better or maybe even exceptional. I've had some handcrafted whiskeys that are just amazing. You know, I mean, I think there's even some I know there's some cheaper Canadian whiskeys that put Crown to shame. What Crown has is a fantastic marketing department. You know, if you like your Canadian whiskey tasting like that it's been stored in a stump for 3 years. So, you know, I like things a little bit different.
So does Brittany.
But
Okay.
she does. So
all right.
So I think a lot of it is that prestige, that name. A lot of times it's good advertising and packaging and presenting. But do I think that there's a bottle of bourbon out there that's worth $5,000? You know, no, not unless it's got Abraham Lincoln's cum in it, and he just happened to be ingesting gold leaf at the time. You know, so yeah. I mean,
Well, I was thinking, okay, how could you make a bottle of rum that would be enticing to me to pay more than what I'm already paying? I mean, would you have to market it as, you know, the sugar cane was poured down the back of a, you know, virgin young
down Brittany's titties.
Yeah, yeah, okay. If they had sugar cane that like waterfalled off of Brittany's breasts,
right,
down into that might be worth a little more. Yeah. If they actually made that valid claim.
Yeah. And actually it's just a room full of migrant workers that just sweating the fuck all over.
Oh, just sweaty.
Yes, he's Brittany. Yeah. So you never know. Yeah, prestige and packaging, it's amazing. And sometimes if you undersell something, people think it's cheap. You know, you can say, man, I have the best rum in the world and it's super affordable. They'll think it's cheap.
Right.
So you can sell something too cheap. And a lot of people have gotten in the habit, because that's what advertising does to us, to believe that the higher the price of something, the better it is.
Well, I remember back in, I believe it was the 70s, early 80s.
I mean, I feel that way about hookers.
Right. The Chivas Regal Scotch was suffering poor performance in the marketplace, and they ramped up their marketing to the point that it became a market leader.
You bet.
Same recipe, same...
Absolutely. It's all about marketing. And we know that. I mean, you know, any product, even great products, you know, they sell themselves, to a limited audience. But if you want to, you know, really expand that. So, you know, I agree.
Yeah. Okay. So it's August.
Yes.
We're in the heat.
Yes.
It's been, 95 degrees the past at least 5 or 6 days in the last couple of weeks?
It's been fucking ridiculous.
Okay. Did you ever, as a young lad, get swept away to Arkansas for a weekend of digging for diamonds in Murfreesboro?
I have done the diamond digging, but not as a kid.
You did it as an adult?
I did it as a fucking adult, yeah.
You voluntarily went.
I voluntarily went and dug around for fucking diamonds that I'll never find.
Was it in August?
No, it was not in August.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, because there's this thing that every August rolls around and it's just sweltering hot.
Yeah.
Okay. Apparently, back whenever I couldn't have been more than 10 years old, my dad must have read some kind of article in the local newspaper about somebody finding a diamond.
Right.
And there's this little place in Murfreesboro, Arkansas, that their whole claim to fame is come dig for diamonds.
Yeah.
Apparently,
there's a bunch of those little,
right. And so you drive all the way there.
Yeah.
And then you get your pan and your sifting equipment and you go out in this dirt field.
Yeah. And just start, yeah.
And just start panning for diamonds.
And people do find diamonds, but you know what? Fucking take your chance at the lottery. Spend $1.
Right.
You're better off. Right.
But you're down there in 9,500 degree heat.
Yeah.
In the full sun. Can't even find a water fountain.
Yeah.
Every time that tractor comes by that's tilling stuff up,
yeah.
It's just a dust cloud.
Yeah.
It's just a miserable day that they call vacation.
Right. So how did we get on this from $5,000 burping? I don't know. It's all about marketing, right? Dig for diamonds, and it's just somebody's goddamn field where, yes, we know there's diamonds, that have been found in that area. That's kind of a scam. In fact, I'd like to announce that my diamond digging operation is open in my backyard right now for those, and for $50. That's a family pass that, as long as the family doesn't exceed 3 people, and you can dig literally all day, as long as all day is 3 hours, and plus, we get free water. We keep a garden hose hooked up at all times. Sometimes there's actually water to it, but it is hooked up. So, yeah, y'all come and enjoy.
Okay, so what was your most miserable outing with your folks growing up?
We didn't have fucking outings. We were poor. We did.
Okay,
one
so were
big
we.
trip.
That's why we were going digging for diamonds, hoping we could change our luck.
We did a big trip when I was a kid. We did go to Arkansas to see my grandfather. And we also, we went to Tennessee to see family. So it was pretty much all to see family. But we went from Knoxville, Nashville, and then Arkansas. We were down around the Stamps, Arkansas area. Lord Jesus, help me on that. And so...
little southern.
Yeah, it was something.
Was that family tree braided?
And no, it was just my grandfather worked at the Red River Satellite Tracking Station for the Navy, and it was an antenna farm, and these antennas were about 6-8 feet tall and just acres of them.
Interesting.
And mainframe computers and teletype. So this was in the 70s.
In Arkansas. I never even knew that place existed.
There is a national radar fence that transects the U.S. It goes, from like Elephant Butte, Montana, all the way down to, they use that to track deep space debris and near field debris too, or anything moving in space. And my grandfather was kind of an eccentric genius type of guy.
Well, I knew that there were certain areas that had those type of satellites that they were tracking stuff that you weren't allowed to have Wi-Fi or cell phones or anything like that. You could have no radio frequencies passing through this because they were like searching the...
these are
searching the galaxy.
Literally, you can look it up, and it's an antenna fence, a virtual antenna fence, and nothing in space crosses over that they don't pick this up somewhere in there. Like China's first satellite they launched. That would be my grandfather. And so they had a teletype that he did reports on.
Okay.
And you could switch to transmit or just to type. And we're talking old mainframes and stuff. And we were down there visiting, and my dad was real fascinated in it, and on all this stuff. So him and Grandpa are going around stuff. Earlier, he had let my sister and I play on the typewriter, just type on it, which was no big deal. He came in, he sent, whatever report, but he didn't put it back from transmit. So I go stumbling over there and type DOG. Keep in mind, I'm like 5.
Right.
And it transmit, and then all hell broke loose from all these different stations wanting to know what in the fuck is going on.
Are you serious?
Oh yeah. It was, and so here he comes at a run. Oh God, oh God, and pulls me out of there and starts typing, grandbaby playing on, whatever, and they're
oh,
he's like, always ask me, so I'm typing in some kind of cryptic, dog. The Soviets are attacking.
Would you like to play a game?
Yeah, it's like the monkey. If you put enough monkeys in a room, they'll give you Shakespeare. Goddamn,
right.
Maybe I almost started a nuclear war. No, it was just they were just confused by why are you typing dog? But yeah, anything you type when it's on transmit is teletype. So
Right, and it was going to every other station.
everywhere.
Wow.
And probably Department of the Navy.
So you were sending email before you even knew it.
Yeah. Well, my neighbor, when I was a kid growing up, he was a ham radio operator and member of the Mars Club. They set off the storm sirens in his area there in Midwest City.
Okay.
Before, back in the day, that's what they did. But I was familiar with auto patch, so, they could patch into phone, the repeaters and things like that and use it for emergency and everything else, even back in the day. So, yeah, it's,
Hey, look, Brian's sending a message, or is that a cry for help?
I don't know, but all I'm getting is Facebook. Let's see. I got D Live. I don't know why no one's seeing my text. I have a feeling. You know what? You just worry about your anus, Brian. You let us handle it. We're doing just fine. Brittany, what do you think? Do we need Brian? I didn't think so.
Yep.
There you go. Yeah. So, yeah.
Bitches.
So how long we been on? What's our running total?
I have no idea.
I don't know.
I bet
either.
Brian knows. He keeps track of things like that.
Oh yeah.
We don't. We're just interested in a good conversation. He's interested about timing and other things, metrics.
I think. Let's see. I think we started at about 7:40.
Okay.
Yep. So I think it's about time we take a break. What do you think?
We can do that. All I've got to do is hit the music,
Let's do it.
and then after that, we can go straight into the.
The guys are recycling their drinks and we'll be right back. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We are at the bar.
Yeah, we
All
are.
right.
Hey, we're back.
All right. So earlier this week, I had to change out the water filter in my refrigerator.
Right.
And I order them from Amazon, usually 3 or 4 at a time. They come in a 3-pack or 4-pack or whatever's got the best deal at the time. And the last time I ordered, they sent me a little refrigerator magnet. It said, hey, the next time you need to order, here's our barcode. All you got to do is pull this QR code up and it'll order.
Right.
Well, I tried that. And the prices seemed to be a little high.
Yeah.
So I went and I looked at the Amazon pricing that I had paid previously, and it was a lot higher than what I had previously paid. So I went back to Amazon and looked at what their current prices were. The prices hadn't changed on Amazon's site. So what the people were doing was they were selling me water filters, and then I guess a certain percentage of the people are going to take this little refrigerator magnet, stick it on the refrigerator, and from then on they're going to pay a higher price.
Right. So you need to look up water filter imposters or frauds. It is one of the biggest fraudulently made products.
Really?
So you find the cheap ones, right? And they've cut them open. They did a lot of testing. They find everything from just newspaper stuffed in them.
Really?
Yes.
Well, mine are charcoal filters that I use.
Right. So are mine. So I was looking up. I was trying to find some cheap ones.
Right.
And then got to reading about it. Read about these things. It's insane. Almost all of these cheap ones that are coming out of Asia are just stuffed with crap.
Really? They're getting rid of their fucking trash.
Exactly.
And selling them to stupid Americans as a water filter.
Yeah. So it's like you have to have a reputable company that you're buying from. And I was like, that is insane. Who would think to do that? you know.
And it's something, okay, how expensive could charcoal possibly be? Because all of these are plastic pieces that they're going to have to build anyway, no matter what they fill them up with.
Right.
And then activated charcoal, and the water just flows through the charcoal. That's all it does.
It's kind of a scam, if you ask me. It's overpriced as hell. And incidentally, good morning, Janie. I didn't know if you could see my text here on the chat. Marion couldn't see it, so I don't know if you can see it either. Let me know if you can or can't. But yeah, the whole filter thing, it's like a scam. It's ridiculous, you know. So I think Bob's going to do some typing here to see if, water filter scams. That's what we're looking up right now. So, yeah, I should say water filter cartridge. But yeah, who would think?
Yeah.
But you actually do see a lot of fakes out there. So here you go. It says consumers are being foiled by fake water filters. Really? I mean, it says, okay. So for years, this guy brought his, replacement filters from his fridge from a local appliance store. Then one time he turned to Amazon, where he shops for other products. Besides being more convenient, the online filters he selected sold by a third party and not by the manufacturer Whirlpool were also cheaper. He got more than expected. Introduction to the hidden and potentially harmful world of counterfeit refrigerator water filters. Sources in law enforcement and appliance industry say it's significant and growing. And this article was in 2020. So it says they're attractive target. They're pricey, purchased every 6 months at the behest of large corporations and difficult for consumers to evaluate. By slapping some labels, package, and fake certifications on lookalike filters with little functionality, then selling them online directly to consumers or via intermediates who may not be in on the act, they undercut legitimate manufacturers. So it says fake filters in the millions. They may also be putting consumers at risk by selling filters that are not only ineffective but unsafe. Along with failing to do what they claim, counterfeits can introduce chemicals such as arsenic, octane,
Octane?
Yes.
Octane's a chemical?
It says, and octane, a petroleum-derived solvent, into users' drinking water. The organization, representing more than 100 appliance brands and suppliers, has argued for better protections against fake filters in meetings with Amazon, Consumer Product Safety Commission, et cetera, et cetera. The White House, Mr. President, you must act on these fake refrigerator water filters. Yeah. But it says the group estimates that the number of fake water filters to be in the millions. So between 2016 and 2018, seizures of fake filters at U.S. ports grew considerably. They see Customs and Border Protection sees more than 150,000 such products.
Is that the one you're looking at?
Yeah, I think that's the one. There you go. So the packaging can be a tip-off, while they're suspiciously wrapped, just different stuff. Holographic stickers, on the ones I bought before, and all of a sudden they're not there. But yeah,
I thought only Microsoft put holographic stickers on their products.
Right? You've been buying fake water filters. That's what you. Yeah. So it's I'm trying to find where they say all the stuff they. Let's see. Another lab tested 8 filters for removal of cryptosporidium. None passed on these 32 counterfeits they found. Yeah. The third lab soaked 46 filters in clean water to see if they'd leached new chemicals. Some, but not all, contaminated the water with a total of 10 different compounds. So, people, we're here to help you out. If you're buying refrigerator water filters, absolutely make sure you're buying a one from a reputable manufacturer, not something that was just the cheapest you could find on Amazon. If you're going to do that, you might as well stick with the worn out filter you got, So, and I think Bob ran immediately to go check his water filter right now. And, they also make it to where it's not really convenient for you can't just plug this thing off if you decide not to use a water filter. And, You got to run it through something. And, the charcoal could conceivably be cleaned and reactivated if this was a filter that you could, disassemble and, or whatever, send it, but yeah, this is, I say even the reputable ones is kind of a scam every 6 months to spend that kind of money, on how I buy bottled water.
Right. The filters I saw the other night just in the store were $30 a piece.
Right.
And that's why I order them online because I can get 3 or 4 for the same price.
Yeah. And now you've got a bunch of ramen wrappers in there, just stuffed in there with possibly some dirty panties.
I mean, it's one thing to counterfeit things like Gucci, but when they get to water filters, come on, man.
Yeah. And who would suspect?
Right.
You would never think in a million years, man, am I buying a counterfeit refrigerator water filter? I mean, that's like, what else are they counterfeiting? What, condoms?
Right.
Yeah. I'm not going to use them anyway, but I'm just telling you,
Somebody
I'm going
does.
bareback on you, ladies. And what do you think of that, Brittany? And it says that all right with you? Oh, and then you slut. So yeah. So I don't know what else have we got out there that's counterfeit that we're not expecting.
Counterfeit toothpicks. I mean, come on.
This isn't wood at all. I don't know what it is. Counterfeit floss. That's it.
Right.
It's just thread that they put wax
on.
Yeah. It's like, man, it really gets into the tight spots, but it breaks easily. And why are my teeth getting this dye on them? Yeah. So, yeah, I think any product like that claims to do something, but it's hidden. It's in a sealed canister container. That's probably the same on charcoal air filter replacements. I bet you there's probably some shit
like
on
cabin filters for your vehicle.
or something. I don't know. There's only so many. I don't know of any little sellers out of
Have you ever replaced a cabin filter on a vehicle?
Absolutely.
Really?
Yeah. Being a smoker,
okay.
I absolutely did. Plus, I'm just kind of a maintenance junkie like that. It's like, it also recommends that I grease these points, and I'm out there greasing them.
Right? Because I've never replaced a cabin filter in any vehicle, and it's like the first 40 years of my life, there wasn't a vehicle that had a cabin filter in it.
Absolutely, yeah.
So
then we learn later and that's. They got smart and figured, well, why can't we filter the air we're sucking in,
I guess.
And
I should probably look into that.
And then, when you recirculate, so you got a cabin air filter that's full of farts from the last 10 years in this car.
It's only 6 years old.
There you go.
Yeah.
So 6 years. And you know what? And you know what you should do with that old cabin air filter?
Reminisce.
Grind it up, put it in a refrigerator water filter
and sell it online.
Sell it on Amazon. I think that's the thing to do. So, yeah, that's I don't know why I happened to come upon that, but yeah.
Okay, so I got a question to ask you about underwear.
Okay, let's hear it.
Do you ever rotate your underwear?
What do you mean rotate them? Wear them backwards?
No, rotate your usage so you get equal utilization out of every pair.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Do you do that too?
Yes.
Okay. So,
all right.
So I have 3 rows of underwear.
I've got 4, and it's like a 4 square.
Right.
And the first one gets used, and then number
When
2
it's
comes down. Then
we
rotate.
Absolutely. So you're not wearing, look.
Exactly.
If you've got 20 pairs of underwear and you do laundry once a week, you're wearing the same 7 pairs of fucking underwear. So yes, I do this. I absolutely do that.
All right. I thought I was the weird one.
No.
Okay.
No. That's why we're friends.
All right. So
sorry you had to hear about that, Janie, because
normally I buy underwear like 30 pair at a time.
That's See, I don't buy that many.
Well, what I do is I'll buy a 30 pack,
right?
Or
enough to
5 6 packs or 6 5 packs or whatever I've got to do, and then I will put them in my drawer, after first wash and all that kind of stuff, and then I will rotate them through, and then whenever they start to get threadbare or
tears
whatever, that pair goes in the trash.
Exactly.
And then whenever I get down to where I've only got like 6 or 8 pair left, then I just order a full gamut of a new 30 pair.
Okay. So I'm glad I'm not the weirdo either, but I have it in three spaces. Okay. So I've got these three ones.
I did something. I faded us to black. I did something stupid.
Our viewers are probably happy about that.
Yeah.
But absolutely. So I wear boxer briefs.
Yep.
And which I like, and
Color?
and all different colors.
I go with straight black.
Really?
Yep.
Kinky thing. I think these are red that I have. Nope, these are blue. Grayish blue. Anyway, so and for a long time I was like, God, I hate it when they slip the red in. I don't want to wear no red underwear, but yeah, now it don't bother me. And it's so
It's like you got to dodge a bull at that point in time or something.
right. So as it gets, like you said, a worn spot in it, the little, getting threadbare, I get rid of this crap.
Yeah.
And
or you're slicing them off at the Lowe's bathroom.
or giving them to Goodwill. So, here's my old underwear. But so that's what I do. So when I wash a load of clothes or whatever, the underwear, the new stack goes on.
Right.
And the thing is let's say that I ended up doing laundry sooner than what I thought I was going to do, and I only had like 2 pairs of underwear in there.
Right.
That's all right. I put them in that last stack.
Exactly.
But down at the bottom.
At the very bottom.
You got to rotate your underwear. And the thing is, I don't rotate socks. Now, I have a friend that numbers his socks.
Like to match your pairs?
Yes. He does not, on the bottom of the sock with a permanent marker. He wears some, like white, like gold toe socks. Right. He keeps all of his socks numbered. And a mutual friend of ours always wore, and he probably still does, Todd, wears 2 pairs of socks.
Now, I've heard of people doing that, and most of that stems from former military.
Yes, he said it was a habit he picked up in the Navy.
Right.
And he was very particular about his socks, as am I. And I need new socks right now.
Okay.
I wear the highest content of wool sock that I can. Not necessarily for heavy winter wear, but I wear wool socks. Wool is better for, your skin.
Breathability, all that kind of stuff. Yep.
Wool is also the only natural fiber that will continue to insulate when it's wet, and it wicks moisture away. So, they're good for wintertime, but I wear a lighter, wool sock. But here lately, when I've been wearing tennis shoes, which suck for my feet, I've just been wearing some white, short, ankle socks. But I'm weird about socks. It gets a hole in it. I don't want it.
Okay. I'm worried about socks and the fact that if I ever take them off, they don't go back on until I wash them. If I've got a doctor's appointment and he wants to look at my feet or something, I can't put those socks back on.
Oh, I can do that. I'll tell you. But if I'm like laying around the house and take my shoes and socks off, I'll go get a new pair of socks.
Exactly.
Or another clean pair of socks when I go to leave in an hour later.
Right.
And I don't know why I'm like that. All I'm doing is creating laundry. And also I'm weird about walking around. I'm not as weird as I used to be. But walking around in just socks, because your socks get dirty or something, don't you dare walk outside with a pair of socks. That's mom,
right?
But
you get the Blackfoot,
But me being diabetic, I shouldn't ever be walking around barefooted. But sometimes I do, and chasing that new puppy that slipped out the fence like greased lightning, and it had been raining, and right behind my fence it drops off.
Yeah.
And I didn't have shoes, socks on, and I was like, shit, I almost caught her, but she ran out and slipped out, and it goes downhill. Well, the second I hit it in my bare feet, hoping I'm not going to catch a nail, glass, all kinds of debris back there, whoop, slipped, fell right on my ass, slid down, caught a vine that with thorns and stuff, and just damn near broke my toe. And I thought, yep, shouldn't ever be out without shoes, Jason. So, and I've gotten bad about when I take the dogs out to do their business in the morning, I'll just slip on my tennis shoes. But that's another thing that I hate is that I could never do is wear shoes without socks.
Yeah.
Honest to God shoes. We're not talking, some, open-toed, sandal or something like, lake shoes or something. But
I wear my Sanooks all the time without socks. I'm good. Right. Okay with that.
And so I've gotten a little lax over the years, but, yeah, definitely.
I've seen people wear boots without socks, and that just unnerved me.
That's gross. That freaks me out.
Yeah.
I'm glad it's probably similar raising with, as far as our mothers telling us this is what you do, know, and so yeah, that's definitely, I'm glad I'm not the only one either. And yeah.
Well, I just remember several years ago, I was in a relationship with somebody. They bought me 2 pair of underwear.
Yeah.
I didn't know how to handle that.
Yeah.
Because it's like, now I've got to buy 28 more pair to match these, or you've just fucked up my entire system.
Yeah. When I was much younger, we weren't even married yet, but my ex-wife, she bought me underwear, and they were not the underwear I was used to wearing.
Right.
I was like, what the fuck are these things? They were all right.
Was this something she thought you would enjoy, or was it thought that she wanted you to wear?
I guess she wanted me to wear these instead, and I was like, I don't even like these motherfuckers.
Right.
And so
I didn't realize how personal of a choice underwear was until people started giving them to me as gifts later in life.
Yeah, it's like, what the fuck are you doing?
It's like, every Christmas growing up, I expected underwear and socks from mom because
tidy-whities and shit.
Absolutely. Yeah. But, for other people, like people you're sleeping with and stuff like that, it's like, stay out of my underwear.
Yeah,
just
don't buy me underwear. I can buy my own underwear.
Absolutely.
I mean, it's not like, don't buy me a banana hammock. You're going to be disappointed unless you like the little fingerling bananas. And so it's yeah, and tidy whities is what I always wore, and then got them in colors. And then when boxer briefs came out, I don't like wearing boxers. It was bunching up.
Right.
The boxer briefs, man, changed everything.
It did.
Those are awesome. And sleep naked, F the world. That's what Janie had to say. Yep. I'm kind of with you. And
the painter doesn't like that.
Yeah, Bob's having his house painted, and he's just like
So last night I ended up working all night long. I didn't actually get in bed until 8:30 this morning whenever the painter was already here working. And my bed is actually in my living room at this point in time because he's worked through my bedroom and it's done. But I needed the space in my bedroom and my master bedroom closet to stuff everything from the other 3 bedrooms into, so that we could it's been this huge slide puzzle I've got going on.
Yeah.
Everything gets moved and shifted and this and that. And so my living room's in my bed, or my bedroom's in my living room. I'm working all night long, finally get some sleep about 8:30 in the morning. The painter's already here, and I'm going to lay down, and I'm like, am I sleeping naked or am I actually wearing clothes? I was like, fuck that, I'm paying him. I'm going commando. So that's what I did. I crawled into bed, and apparently I was out for 4 or 5 hours, and he didn't even realize I was in there asleep.
Right. So, yeah, we just got a message from Brian that says they've burned off the majority of the warts, kind of in a half moon shape. And so I'm real glad about that. He said that YouTube's not streaming. It's active, but no show. So we don't know what's going on. So we're sorry to our YouTube viewers that have missed all this pertinent information that I have about water filters and our underwear habits.
Right.
So Janie said something about sleeping naked. Okay. First of all, while I was married, I tend to be a modest person. I had 2 daughters.
Why is he calling us a dick?
He didn't want people to know that the procedure's halfway done.
Okay.
And like I said, it's just a half moon shape right now.
Yeah.
And you know what it looks
like? Kind of like if you took a one of those heads of red cauliflower and just split it down the middle.
It looks like a croissant that somebody drizzled blueberry compote on there, with whole blueberries, but some sauce. That's what it looks like right now. So yeah, I never walked around naked in front of my daughters.
Oh, no, right.
In fact, I wasn't comfortable walking around my tidy whities in front of my,
Yeah, I've never walked around naked in front of your daughters either.
Exactly, so. And I'm appreciative of that. so it's I get a lot of that modesty from, my mom's a very modest person. And so I just didn't do it. But, sometimes, there was there, but I felt very uncomfortable. But Janie's like, ew, hey, it's not my asshole that's got all the warts on it.
It's Brian's.
Brian brought this on himself. But so as, being divorced as long as I have and not used to having people in the house, I got to where, I would come in and it looked like a tornado hit my clothes, just poof, they just blew off.
You look like what was that kid on Charlie Brown?
Oh, yeah, they get knocked out of his. Yeah.
It wasn't Pigpen, it was the other one.
No, yeah, I know what you're talking. Yeah. And I would just.
Was it Linus?
No, who was it that get knocked out of his song? I don't know. But
no,
Yeah. So anyway, I'd come in and I'd just be naked walking around. And even then I was like, for a while, I'm like, God, I need to put some clothes on, you know, you're supposed to have some clothes on, but I got out of the habit. And so and it was that way until I got, Hank.
Yeah.
Cause let me tell you what you don't want. You don't want to be laying in bed naked and him take a quick lick at it. So I got underwear on, and I've got this new puppy that likes to chew, so I'm damn well wearing underwear. And
well, you know, you don't want Hank taking a quick lick at it, but if you got 2 tablespoons of peanut butter,
let me tell
he'll
you,
hang out for a while.
I have actually taken a bath with him because I was like, I need to take a shower. Hank needs a bath, so I'm sitting in the tub scrubbing him, but I'm trying to keep him pushed away so he's not on my dick. You know, I mean, yeah, there's just something wrong. Since Hank sleeps up in the bed, I can't sleep naked because we end up snuggling together, and I don't want to. Who amongst us has not slipped into our dog's asshole 3 or 4 times because you had morning wood? I mean, what? It's just me? Fuck you people. So that kind of broke me of the naked thing. Is after I got Hank, I just stopped, you know, and plus let him out in the mornings, and which I go out in the mornings with him and piss, and then one day I was out peeing. I looked over at the new neighbor, and there's, you know, a damn camera hung up. It's like pointing at my yard, and I was like, shit.
Yep.
So I don't know what's going on there. But
I'd wave at that son of a bitch. I'd be outside butt naked. I'd turn over and turn around and moon
They're
them.
viewing into my fucking yard. I mean, I like to step out there and piss. Now I got this new puppy, so all 3 of us are out there pissing in the morning.
Did you ever go sleepwalking as a kid?
So, no, not as a kid.
Okay.
No, but yes, please tell this story right now, immediately.
Okay, so I told you my whole world's a slide puzzle right now. I've been moving a bunch of stuff. I was moving a bunch of stuff out of a closet that involved at least 5,000 pictures that my mom had in her collection that I'm slowly but surely going to have to deal with. And one of the shoe boxes kind of slipped, and this one picture comes floating out of this shoe box. And on the back of it it's inscribed something Bobby 1982 sleepwalking.
Yeah.
It is a picture of me taking a whiz in the kitchen trash can in the middle of the night.
Yep.
Bare butt, and I made sure that I had my underwear down below my knees because I needed all the room, you know, to free the kraken.
Yeah.
that a 10 or 11-year-old boy.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, okay, this is 82.
Mm-hmm.
That shit had to be developed.
Yeah.
Okay, there was a flash bulb involved.
Right.
This wasn't most people's parents, I would hope, would go, let's just get him safely back to bed.
Yeah. Have him stop pissing in the trash can.
Right. You know, not my mother. No.
She got the camera.
It's a photo opportunity.
You bet.
So, and I'm sure she got double prints because that was the thing back in the day. If you went to the photo mat or whatever it was, and, you know, so you got your 24 roll of what was it, C110 film and your little Kodak camera and you got your flash bulb on it and...
And I love it because I'd heard the story from your mom several times, but then we get to see the picture. It says YouTube online now, something with the stream key errored out. No, Bob, I didn't do it. This was out of my control. You know what was not out of his control? That
being here,
the warts cropping back up after.
So he could have been here. So
tell her to wash that dildo, please. You know, you can put it in the dishwasher.
So I'm watching this. I'm looking at this picture. And it's 1982.
Right.
So it was either before I turned 11 or right after I turned 11. I mean, that's really the only. And I was like, damn, that's a nice ass on that kid.
I know.
That's
like on that movie True Lies where Bill Paxton says to Schwarzenegger, he's talking about Jamie Lee Curtis, you know, her character, he's like, ass like a 10-year-old boy.
Exactly.
And, yeah. And so Bob kindly sent the picture to me and Brian. Well, of course, I'm cracking up. I did tell Janie about it, but she has not seen the picture. But I told her about how, you know, Bob's like, wow, my ass looked pretty good. And Brian's like, "Are you really sitting there on,
Right. He's chastising me with all of his problems.
Yeah, and
You know what? I got 99 problems, but warts on my ass ain't one. So
yeah. And I said, well, it is kind of a nice little onion there. You got to admit, man. And Brian's like, okay, I've heard it all now.
Right.
I'll tell you, you're complimenting your own ass, and Jason is your 11-year-old ass, and Jason is agreeing.
And okay, we weren't saying my 11-year-old ass turned us on. We're just saying, as far as 11-year-old asses go, I was doing all right and didn't even realize it at the time.
Yeah, I wasn't turned on by it. But you can even see the piss stream, man. I mean, it's just a great picture.
It is perfect angle. I mean, it's just take it out the trash can.
So now I've got to bring up another picture.
All right.
So it was the picture. So Bob, I'm not sure what age you were, but you're. Brian says Bob and his ass. I've seen too much of this man over time. Yeah. It's kind of your own fault.
You kept asking the question. So Brian lived with me for a while, and he'd make the mistake of knocking on my bedroom door and asking me, "Are you decent?" I was like, "Just a minute," and that'd just give me enough time to pull my pants down and bend over and tell him, "Come on in." I mean, and he fell for it every single time.
Oh.
So what does that say about him?
Exactly. I mean,
at some point in time, a normal person would have just, throw their hands up and said, yeah, I'm just not even knocking on that door.
Yeah, he's going to be on the bed with his ass cheeks
right.
spread.
So,
yeah.
But I think that subconsciously, he really,
right.
subconsciously, Brian had a thing for me.
There was something there.
Yeah.
And I think it all stems from that 11-year-old onion. That,
right.
And so,
because that was about the time we met.
Yeah, right. And so,
yeah.
I feel like I feel like that. Yeah, he should have caught on. At some point. I mean, fool me once. So
even twice.
Yeah.
But the 18th, 19th time,
but, he falls for it when I call in on the chat.
Exactly, every single time.
But so this picture.
Maybe he's just an eternal optimist
right?
that the world's going to be right.
Right. So you're young.
Yeah.
And you're sitting there on the couch and you're holding a rabbit.
Yeah.
And Heather from up the street, who's several years younger than us, is sitting there on the couch beside you, staring at you holding this rabbit.
Yeah.
So Galen had your mom had taken that picture, and then her friend Jill, your mom was going through some old pictures, and Jill's like, "Oh my God, you can see his balls. Your balls are hanging out of your shorts." Here you're like 11, and Galen's like, "I never noticed that," and so I had to call Heather and have her come down. I was like, "Look at this, Heather." She's like, "Oh my God, it looks like I'm looking at it," because you're sitting there with this bunny, and she's kind of sitting there like she's wanting to touch
she's
it.
fixing to pet the bunny.
Yeah, it looks like she's getting ready to cup your nutsack, and so you will come across that one. If there's a picture of you on the couch with a bunny and Heather sitting beside you, look for your nuts hanging out. And I told your mom, I said, "This is not the first encounter with Bob's nuts that I've had to deal with." So I was still dating what was to become my
first ex-wife.
My first ex-wife. And we were
Lake Arcadia.
We were Lake Arcadia, and we got hungry, so we rode into town. So we're all out there.
Went to Taco Bell.
Yeah, we went to Taco Bell up there in Edmond, and we're sitting in the back of Tina's little truck, I believe.
It's a little Datsun pickup.
Yeah. And,
brown, dark brown.
That's it. And so we're sitting in the back of this pickup eating. And of course, Bob's hound dog nuts, his big red nuts are hanging out of his shoulder. I was like, "God, come on, Bob, your nuts are hanging out." Me and my girlfriend sitting there, and he's just eating, away. So a few years later, we were young. We were working at a high-rise building, and it was security.
We were security. They put us in charge of the building.
Yeah, so
there were times when we worked together, and we were the only people in that building.
Yeah,
that's $100 million building back in 1986. We had the master keys to this thing.
Yeah, every inch of it,
and they trusted us.
Yeah. It's up to us to look after it. So I'm relaying the story to somebody else in the office, and Bob's in there, and I'm telling this whole story again. And then I shifted position because I was kind of sitting on the desk, and then I hear a voice. It was Griff. He's like, "You're sitting on the mic there, hound dog." So I broadcast the story of Bob's balls to everyone with a radio at that time. There was
The entire engineering department.
everybody. So I'm like, Bob's big hound dog balls are hanging out. And everyone's like, Jesus, does this motherfucker not know he's sitting on the mic? But it's lots of encounters with Bob's nuts.
Got the mic keyed up in the security office.
I honest to God didn't know I'm sitting on the fucking mic. But that was a good time. So there you go. In fact, Bob and I were looking at a product today that hopefully we can find. There were these big fake stretchy nuts. And
Amazon is out of them, so don't go looking for them yet.
Amazon does not currently offer this product, but you strap these things on to yourself. It's got like a little belt, but it's these real long, realistic nuts, and they hang outside your shorts. And there was some guy did a TikTok in front of his grandma, and jumping jacks, and she went after him with the canes.
Yeah, she cussed him pretty good, like a blue streak, and was going after him. So, okay, speaking of TikTok,
yes,
they now have a satellite radio channel.
Really?
It's all TikTok music.
Oh wow!
I was listening to that on my drive home today, and it was bizarre.
Oh yeah.
Some of the stuff that they're playing, but it's on channel 4 on Sirius.
I'll be damned.
And do you have satellite?
No, I use Amazon Prime. They have some weird stations too, like lo-fi hip hop.
Lo-fi hip hop.
Yeah, it's a station. It's
what do they play?
Lo-fi hip hop,
like music to smoke weed by. What
I mean, kind of. I mean, it's kind of a mix between it's almost like trance and house and stuff, but also with rap, and not necessarily rap, but I don't know how to explain it, but it's I think they're just relabeling shit. We've got some of it's like I don't know, it reminds me of house or trance in some ways, and some of it's just odd. So hey, I'm not much on labeling music, but lo-fi hip hop, there you go. And so there and on TikTok that a lot of songs have gotten a lot of popularity off of that. These little blips and blurbs and stuff.
Okay, so earlier today we were trying to find the fake balls,
right?
And so I just did a search on Amazon, fake testicles.
Right.
I thought it'd be a good search term.
Sure.
It's about as descriptive as you can get.
Right.
Here's what I came up with.
Mother fudge is this? Both of Deez Nuts, banana nut bread and hazelnut vanilla. That's great. It's a candle.
It's a 40-hour candle.
Both of Deez Nuts.
All right. I don't even know what this is. Some person sitting inside an Amazon box. Yeah, it's odd. You got a pair of thick fillet socks. Okay, and my personal favorite right down here is the apron.
Yeah. Hey, man, I found a sex toy dog, a fake dog that has a vagina for your small dog to get on a mountain hump it. Honest to God. On Amazon. They have that.
You couldn't just buy a rabbit?
I mean, yeah, right. Well, no, because you already beat him to death with your 11-year-old nuts. So, yeah. But let's say you got a Pomeranian. He's feeling, shall we say, a bit pent up.
Right.
And the dad bod squad, Jesus. And
but if you look up
warning, driver has huge testicles.
I could label my vehicle for only $4.
I want to put that on there. Yeah, I mean, so I was looking. I think I
put that on a broom.
I think I looked up on Amazon, or I looked up, fake testicles. Yeah, I don't know. There you go. So I don't know, but yeah, definitely want a pair of those. I just don't know who's going to be my first victim. Janie, she's like, Lord. And now Janie's heard more about your nuts than anyone ever. That's, if you can slip those out at some point when we're all together, I'd appreciate that. That way I can say, you know what? 3 women I've been with have seen Bob's nuts. That would be awesome.
Only 3? Well,
Just, well, 3 that we know of.
Okay.
I mean, my ex and then Heather and
yeah,
hopefully now Janie. Get ready for it, Janie. It's just a pair of balls.
it comes with the carrot cake.
Right.
It's obligatory at that point.
It's like you cut in the carrot cake. What's this? And it's a picture. You pull it out, wipe it out. It's just a picture of Bob's nuts. Enjoy your cake. And both of Deez Nuts. That's awesome. Yeah, she's looking forward to that cake. You're icing those tonight, though, aren't you?
No, that's already done. It's ready to go home.
You heard it right there. So
No.
you know what?
No, I ended up. I was planning on baking them yesterday evening,
Right.
and then icing them lunchtime today. But I ended up working all night long, so I was actually baking them about 4:00 this morning,
Wow.
and then let them cool off and ice them down about noon.
Let me tell you, man, in the world of cakes, I know we can go to bakeries, whatever, and, get whatever. There's plenty of good bakeries, but this cake is a superior carrot cake. It is really excellent. You could make a living just selling these damn carrot cakes to restaurants and shit. A lot of restaurants outsource their,
Right.
their desserts and stuff. And sometimes you'll see one, featured, dessert from one place or
Right.
something, and
Well, we've got a French bakery in town, La Baguette,
yeah.
and they have a entire plant that does nothing but churn out cakes for
You bet.
and cheesecakes,
Yeah.
and other desserts for all the restaurants in town.
I'll tell you what, it's just exceptional. And, I remember my mom would make carrot cake when I was a kid, and I was like, yeah, until I had really good carrot cake.
It's there's a vast disparity between the good ones and the bad ones.
You bet. And I'll tell you what, man, like I said, I liked Honky Bucket's carrot cake, Cracker Barrel. Honky Bucket. I wish I could take credit for that. I heard that online. Some woman said that's what her husband calls it, is the Honky Bucket instead of Cracker Barrel. But their carrot cake's pretty good. But you said the little squares at 7-Eleven, wrapped, that are pretty damn decent.
Yeah, they really are.
And so how many of those damn squares do they sell, out of 7-Eleven alone, this company, per year?
Yeah.
And that is, Oh, and so we had a place in Midwest City that opened right during the pandemic, right about the time it hit, called Bad Nonna's, right? And they had cannolis that were really good. They had really good Italian food, and it was,
Well, is Falcone still over there in Midwest City?
Oh no,
Okay.
no, Falcone's been gone forever. Yeah, but this Bad Nonna's was really cool. But I think they're still somewhere. They're just not out there in Midwest City. But it was really good. But the pandemic was, a killer on that.
Oh, yeah.
Have you ever been to Blaze Pizza?
I have not.
Oh, dude. So we got a little Blaze Pizza where Falcone's used to be. It's a wood-fired little pizza. It's make your own pizza. You go down the line. They make the crust fresh. You can see them do it, the dough. And then you go down the line. You can pick any ingredients you want. And they've got some really neat ingredients, right?
Yep.
Some gourmet stuff. You can get like a balsamic drizzle on your pizza or whatever. But yeah, right. You put this pizza, they put this pizza in the wood-fired oven, whatever, until it's done, and they call you. They also have these garlic knots that they do in this little pan, right?
Yep.
Their garlic knots are exceptional, dude.
Butter, Parmesan.
Oh my God, they're exceptional.
Garlic, yeah.
And their pizza is good too. I really like Blaze Pizza, and it's like 8 minutes or whatever. I mean, they have a thing where they can move them out, man. You've got to check it out.
Are they relatively cheap? Or are they a good price?
Yes,
Okay.
the price is excellent. They have a little rewards program. They have some neat little soft drinks, like Jones Soda Company or something. I don't know, but yeah. But so it seems like whenever we get somewhere good, it always, gets screwed up. But yeah, Bad Nonna's cannolis were very good. And I'm not even that big of a cannoli guy.
Yeah.
I don't like the shells that much.
I've never been a huge fan of those myself.
Yeah, but their cannolis were really good. And but yeah, I'm more of a cake or pie or possibly cobbler person.
Right.
Thigh cobbler,
Thigh cobbler.
whisker biscuit,
Best dessert of all.
right?
All right.
So, yeah, so we've covered just about everything from underwear to water filters to
But we haven't talked about movies yet.
cakes and pies. That's right. You've got to give us the movie update. We talked about the briefly,
Aretha Franklin.
but yeah, we want to hear about the crappy ones now.
Okay. Actually, there weren't any crappy ones this week.
Really?
Went to see two last night. One's called The Protege. There's a gal by the name of Maggie Q. Really, really cute actress. Let's see if I can pull her up. And the fact that her last name is Q,
Right.
that turned a 7 into a 9 real quick just by itself. But the fact that she's really hot already.
Short for Quim.
Oh, now you're just talking dirty.
You know what? I think I look exceptionally hot tonight. I'm just going to tell y'all. With these glasses on and shit.
All right, so
okay, yeah.
Okay, so here's Maggie Q.
Yeah.
And she was born in 79. So it's not like she's, this bright, young little 20-something.
Yeah, I've seen her in something before.
But she's like, 41, 42 years old.
Right.
And she was kicking ass. And it's got Samuel L. Jackson in it. He's played
Really?
her. Yeah, he's like her mentor. And the movie's called The Protege. And he kind of takes her under his wing. And, she's just gorgeous all the way through it.
You had me at Samuel L. Jackson. Who
Yeah.
the fuck don't like a movie he's in, motherfucker. Man. And that's good because I don't feel like I've gotten my fill of Samuel L. Jackson here in the past few years. My fill. If you're listening, no, motherfucker. Get that out of there.
Well, there's a meme going around. It's the Family Feud. Have you seen that one?
No.
And it's Mother Blank, and it's like Mother Goose, Mother.
Yeah.
There's like 8 answers, and then the number one answer is blank, and they go, "Okay, Sam, what is it?"
Yeah. That poor guy. That's it. Everyone wants to hear him say motherfucker. That's like when he did the reading of Go the Fuck to Sleep, that book. Come on, man. I love that shit. But yeah, so what else did you see?
Night House.
Night
I
House.
believe it's Night House.
Night House.
I'm going to look that up just to make sure.
I was in that porn movie called Night House.
The Night House, yes. Okay, so it's one of those thriller types, and they got me half a dozen times. I went,
Really?
yeah. So I'm just sitting there, and if I would have been holding the big bucket of popcorn, I'd have thrown shit everywhere because
Oh my God, yes.
there was stuff happening, and there's certain movies in that genre that you see it coming.
Right.
The music starts, or
You bet.
you see the wall of chainsaws or whatever's going on, but this one, they were doing freaky stuff that you didn't see coming.
I like that. I like a surprise.
Yeah.
The movie that I've seen most recently that was, well, other than the, what are they? The series, the Conjuring series. I kind of like those. Those are pretty good.
I finally actually saw all of those. I didn't realize there were like 9 movies in the series.
There's like a lot of shit. They got that new one that's, out.
Well, I can tell you, up until last year, I never went to the movies to see a horror movie or a thriller.
Yeah.
But I'm starting to like them.
You bet. If they're good. Some of them are so cheesy, it's horrible.
Well, did you see the movie Spiral that came out a few months ago?
No, I did not.
Okay, it's part of the Saw franchise, but
really?
it had Chris Rock and Samuel L. Jackson.
Hey, there you go.
I think it was Samuel L. Jackson.
If not, you just labeled yourself as a horrible racist. He's like, oh, we're one of those guys. So,
Well, I wouldn't be the first one that mistook Samuel L.
yeah,
Jackson.
we've all seen that thing where the reporter's like,
Yeah.
and
Yeah, I'm the other black guy that did Capital One or whatever.
yeah,
They were, yeah.
exactly. So, so it's okay. So, she said,
Okay, yes,
Janie
he
said
wasn't.
she's seen it. There you go.
He wasn't Spiral.
Janie said she's seen it and it was good, but I haven't seen Spiral yet. So what's the deal?
Well, it's a Saw movie, so you've got that whole blood, guts, and gore aspect of it.
Sure.
But you've also got Chris Rock and Samuel L. Jackson.
Yeah.
So
And I like stuff like that. Let me tell you, there were some good movies. Like I liked The Final Destination. I'd say Jenny said he played Chris Rock's dad.
Yeah.
So I liked the first few Final Destinations. I think there's about 1 billion of them now. The Conjuring stuff, but I also liked and I like. Don't give me any spoilers. I want to see it. This movie, it's several years old now. The Witch.
yeah.
Man, I love that because it was creepy. It was so creepy that, I got to tell you, it was exceptional. I felt like it was.
Okay, that was from 2015.
The Witch?
Yeah.
And it looks like the title's made with 2 V's for the W. Let me see that. That is yes, absolutely. Oh my
the
god.
Vavitch.
Yeah, no, let me tell you. And so they got this goat, Black Phillip. Black Phillip. And yeah, if you have not seen, there's a scene with the devil in it that is pretty good. It's tasty. So yeah, I like that one, but and it kind of just creeped me out, you know.
Yeah.
But I like some of the supernatural stuff. I'll tell you one I liked that was it wasn't even that scary, and it was it was Keanu Reeves in it, right? And he played
John Wick.
no, it wasn't Wick. He played
I know the one you're talking about.
Yes,
he's
a demon hunter. He's trying to redeem himself because he tried to commit suicide. So he's doomed to hell. But he's been
Right.
And what was the name of that? Let's see, Reeves, and what's his name was in it too. The damn kid I don't like. Constantine.
Yep, that's the one.
I liked it. I
Did they do a sequel?
I don't know, not that I'm aware of. But that was like 2005, and so yeah, Constantine I thought was pretty good. I like the supernatural satanic ones. You know, what was that one where they're all trapped in the diner, and then that ice cream guy comes rolling down the thing? All the demons they have to fight. There was like a fallen angel that was pretty good. I saw one with Henry Rollins in it, where he's a fallen angel. He's been alive for like forever, and yeah. Constantine, there you go. So, yeah, I like a good scary movie, or a thriller type movie, but you don't find any that scare you like when you're a kid, you know. So what are we looking for?
I was looking to see if there was a sequel to
Constantine.
Constantine.
I don't think there is, because I definitely would have checked it out if there was.
Well, in May of 2019, Reeves stated that he's open to reprising the role from the future.
There you go.
In November 2020, still more, and I don't know what his involvement was.
Yeah.
A sequel was in the works, so that may still happen.
Well,
okay,
I'm down. But you got to watch The Witch. It's like 16th century.
Okay.
Colonies here in America, just really fucking creepy.
Yeah.
I got to tell you, man, definitely worth seeing. And the girl in it, she's adorable. She plays the part really, really well. But yeah, the devil scene's my favorite one.
Well, do you go to the movies very often?
No, I haven't been to the movies. I can't tell you the last time I was at the movies.
Okay, they've gotten stupid.
No.
Because you remember back when we were kids, movie starts 8 p.m., 7 p.m., whatever.
Right.
If you weren't in your seat ready to go within 3 or 4 minutes after that,
yeah.
I mean, they'd play 2 or 3 promos.
Yeah, and then
they'd start telling you still got time to go to the concession stand to get whatever $8 bottle of popcorn
right
that you wanted. But if you weren't in your chair ready to go, you didn't have 5 minutes to.
Yeah.
Okay. They're up to 25 minutes of previews, advertisements,
wow,
and everything else before you actually get to the start of the movie.
Well, it's proven that it gets people's attention, man. I mean, your captive audience, you
Right.
can't get up and run to the fridge. You can get up, go to the concession stand, but you usually do that before you go into the movie.
Right.
So you've got kind of a captive audience. You don't want to lose your seat. You're comfortable. You're eating your stuff. You're talking to whoever you came with, if you did come with somebody. And then they're playing these previews. Ooh, that looks pretty good. Whereas you might get, if you were at home, get up and go do whatever. So, yeah, it's smart that way. I mean,
yeah, but 25 minutes.
Yeah.
Every single movie you watch is 25 minutes worth of crap that you got to. And a lot of it's repetitive because, they're only advertising the movies that are coming out in the next several weeks.
Right.
And so that gets kind of repetitive whenever they've got 25 minutes.
Yeah, and you're seeing all those movies.
Right.
I usually just masturbate. So, right.
Brittany, what do you think, Brittany?
Yeah.
There you go.
Shut your mouth, Brittany. Naughty thing. So
she is a naughty thing.
Yeah. So it's what was the? I think the last movie I saw was The Incredibles 2 or some shit.
You actually went to the theater for that?
Yeah, but I went with people.
Okay.
So, I mean, it was not just, You know, it wasn't like I was like, hey, I got to go see The Incredibles. And, you know, so yeah, that's the last one. I told you, you know, I had to go see Grayson or whatever that was, not Grayson. Whatever the one, Billionaire Rapist, you know, where he beats her up and ties her up and shit. And, you know, Gray.
Yeah, 50 Shades of Grey.
50 Shades of Grey. Because I gave my word that she could pick the next movie, and she did.
Yeah.
She's like, you don't have to go, but I did go. And, yeah, it was creepy.
Okay, so where are you watching your movies if you're not going to the theaters?
I don't watch a lot of movies. I wait till shit comes out on video, or I rent it off of Vudu or Amazon Prime or you know, one of those other services.
Okay, is it not insane what we're going through these days with the number of different streaming services?
Yeah.
Because you got your heavy hitters, your Netflix, your Hulu,
Sure.
your Amazon Prime.
Right.
And then now it's every single studio has to do their own thing.
Peacock, Paramount,
HBO,
Yes.
Showtime.
absolutely, Apple Plus.
Then you've got Stars.
You bet. Yeah.
Okay,
And a lot of those
so-
services you can get, you know, you can
Bundle.
a la
Yeah.
carte. Like if you go to Apple TV, you could get Stars or whatever, and all this, you know, and
Right.
AMC Plus, and yeah, it's like the Wild West of streaming right now. Still,
Well, you know,
But
it's
I like
interesting.
it.
Back in the day, everybody was pissed off because they were paying for 200 channels with cable TV, and they're only watching 7 channels. And everybody was like, "Why can't I just pay for what I want to watch?"
yeah,
And now then, we pretty much shifted that pendulum all the way over to the other thing where you only have to pay for what you want.
right.
But it seems like in order to get what the content that you want, you've got to sign up for 7 different streaming services, and in order to be there, so you're right back where you were
Absolutely.
with a cable bundle, except now you're trying to jockey 7 different apps to get your
Disney
content.
Plus, this, you know, because these studios decided, hey, you know what? Why are we paying? You know, why is a middleman making money off of us? That we got enough content to where people will pay to see us.
Right.
Well, look at Disney Plus. They, you know, and Peacock has a lot going on. So does Paramount. I like them all. So
Well, yeah, but the thing is, it's like, okay, I remember back when HBO, the only thing HBO did was movies, kind of like MTV played music videos.
that's a long time ago.
But then HBO started branching out, and they started doing their own content.
yeah,
well,
like
now-
First and 10, way back in the
way
day.
back in the day. But now they're up to the point that their original content surpasses
Yeah.
the stuff that they're bringing in
Exactly.
from the theaters.
Right. Yeah. So, and I don't like that. So, but I do. So, not all services you can rent new movies. Okay.
Right.
So, like your Hulu or, you know, or Netflix, you know, you can't rent the latest blockbuster in the theaters or whatever. But on Amazon Prime, you know, Apple Plus, some of these services, you know, you can rent movies on, but also Vudu, like I said, and there's Redbox and all that. That's usually where, if I've just got to see a movie, that's what I do, is rent it online. If it ain't available, you know, it's like,
Right.
it's in theaters now, you can rent for $20. Nope.
Nope.
That's not me, man. I don't watch that many movies. And, you know, not with the plethora of free porn that's available on the internet.
Right.
I mean, why would I watch a movie? So,
Do you remember that old Redskin theater that was over off of 29th Street when we were kids?
yeah, way down. Yeah. 29th Street.
29th, like Agnew or
Yeah.
Penn,
Up there by Walker. Yeah. They're restoring that, I thought.
Are they really?
Or they're talking about it.
Well, it was an old porn theater.
Yeah. But I mean, originally before that, you know, it was an old theater. And also the Jewel, I think it's the Jewel over there on, what is that, 4th or some street, you know, that needs to be restored real bad. We want somebody to buy that. you
Yeah.
know, but yeah, that's really cool. But I know the Redskin. Yeah. It ended up, these old theaters, you know, got outpaced by bigger things. And of course, you remember the drive-in movies there at Sunny Lane in 29th?
No, I don't.
Oh my God! Yes, I saw. Dad took us there, and I think it was Yellow Rose of Texas or something, some Willie Nelson movie. And I turned around backwards and watched Airplane because we could see on a different screen.
Really?
There was also a drive-in movie theater when we were babies that was at 15th and Douglas.
Right. And that's
there was
where
one on Air Depot way back before we were born.
Well, the drive-in theaters. The first time I ever saw Star Wars.
Yeah, really.
Yeah.
Where'd y'all go?
I can't remember, but I believe it's the one there on 15th and Douglas.
That was closed down by the time Star Wars came
Okay.
out.
Then it probably would have been the one
It
over
was
there
the one on Sunny Lane.
Yeah.
It was literally, or not Sunny Lane, I'm sorry, Sooner and 29th.
Okay.
Right
Yep.
there.
Yep.
That's where it was. And
The only drive-in movie we've got around in the area is now the Winchester over there.
Winchester's about all that's left, yeah.
off of Western.
The Riviera closed down years ago, so yeah, it's just the Winchester.
Yeah. And they're still showing 2 or 3 movies
I
every Friday
know.
and Saturday night.
I've been several times. I know one time this girl I was dating, we go out there and we're watching the movie or whatever, and then this girl comes walking up our car and knocks on the window because we had the windows up, and I was like, shit, that's my daughter. I was like, what are you doing here? We're on a date. I was like,
So you double dating with your daughter?
Well, she was in a car back, some guy. And I'm like,
How steamed up were her windows?
yeah, I was like, I got my eye on you. Completely ruined my makeout.
Well, they used to show 3 movies, and I always used to refer to it as, watch 2 and listen to the third.
All right. Yeah.
Because if you wasn't where you needed to be by the time the third one started, it was just it wasn't a good night.
Well, the first movie is usually a family and kid movie. In fact, the movie I went to see out there, the main one I went to see, there was like How to Train Your Dragon. This is how long ago this was, which I didn't give a shit about. And I thought that was a porn, How to Train Your Dragon. No. But the movie that I went out there to see was the remake of Clash of the Titans.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
With oh shit, what's his name? Yeah.
Yeah.
The guy that's got skills.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What I do have is Zeus is a particular set of thunderbolts. So yeah, Liam Neeson.
Liam Neeson, yeah.
Yes.
And that was the one where they had him like shining gold, and he was like,
yeah, it was definitely, that's what I come out there to see. So there wasn't a lot of making out going on there, but it's like, bitch, get off me! I came to see this movie. My daughter's 3 cars behind me.
Exactly. So,
don't want to be in there, finger banging your date,
If we're doing anything, you're keeping it discreet.
Yeah. And they're finger banging your date and your daughter comes up, can I borrow some money for popcorn?
Right.
Why is this money stink?
And you're like, hell no, you came with the guy.
Yeah.
Go do whatever you got to do to get him to buy you popcorn.
No, fuck that. He ain't buying you shit, Comes with an expectation. Man, you know how much some hot dogs were? Feel like you owe me. My dad says differently. He's right up there glaring at you from his back window. So yeah. But yeah, the Winchester's a good time. And
well, it was great. I used to go up there with an air mattress in the back of my truck.
Yeah.
And a couple of blankets, pillows, and then I had a sliding glass back window. So, nowadays you don't hang the big clunky 8-pound speaker onto your...
you got your stereo, yeah.
And you just turn on your stereo, and that works.
I saw a movie years and years back, or 3 movies years and years, like in the 80s. There was that drive-in movie theater that was over by Will Rogers World Airport. I mean, you could see planes taking off and shit, and
yeah. And if you were in a plane, you could actually see the movies playing as you were taking off.
Me and my ex-brother-in-law went and saw some movies there, and it was like that movie where these kids open up like a hell mouth or something,
right?
And then it had some movie that Morgan Freeman was in way back before Morgan Freeman really developed his name, and he played a pimp. No shit.
Really?
Yeah.
I can hear the soundtrack of that now.
Right? And then the whore brought me the money that she owed me. I'd like to tell you that the whore did well. I'd like to tell you that. But she was short $100, so I cut the bitch's face. Yeah. Morgan Freeman pimp movie. We're going to look this up. And I think we're going to find Street Smart, 1987. Okay. Yeah. So
you were 16 at the time?
Yeah, I guess. Yeah. So the box office on the budget was $6 million. The box office, $1,119,112.
So he didn't do well in that one.
Dog. So it had Christopher Reeve when he could walk, Morgan Freeman, and Kathy Baker. It was shot in New York City and Montreal.
You know what the opposite of Christopher Walken is?
Christopher
Superman.
Oh, yeah, there you go. So the film was a commercial failure.
Yep.
Even though it did well. So Morgan Freeman is Leo Smalls Jr., a.k.a. Fast Black. So yeah, he was a pimp. And Yeah, 87.
He was in a movie, I think it was last year,
Yep.
that he was kind of in a seedy role.
Right.
And I really enjoyed it, but I don't want to spoil it, but it was not characteristic of Morgan Freeman.
Right. Well, he played kind of a bad dude, man. He beats up this guy that was hassling one of his whores and kills her and stuff. Yeah. But yeah, where's my money, bitch? It just doesn't, really seem like the guy to,
Yeah, you want everything that he comes out of his mouth is in that Shawshank Redemption narrator voice.
Yeah. That's horrible. Yeah. I thought it was I don't know, I thought it was pretty good, but the thing that I was excited about, because I was like, oh my God, I know that guy. He's from the show The Electric Company when we were little kids.
Really?
Yes. I was like, I didn't even, this is before Morgan Freeman was really, doing much, but he was on that show Electric Company, which was one of those PBS kids shows.
Right.
Yeah. And
it came on right before Zoom.
There you go. Or Via Alegre.
Yeah, we didn't watch any of that.
Which was the this is the 70s version of Dora the Explorer.
That was no, the 70s version of Telemundo.
Yeah. Can you say Via Alegre?
Yeah. You didn't get your own network at that point in time. You got 1 hour on PBS.
Exactly, of PBS. So, yeah. And, Leo Fast Black Smalls Jr. ready to fuck up a hoe that's short on cash. Bitch, you're feeling light tonight on the money. I'm going to need you to pick which eye you want me to put out. No, Daddy, that's my money maker. Which eye do you want, bitch? I think that was one of the things in the movie. He's threatening, which eye? To cut this bitch's eye, in her face. No, please, or whatever. And so then he probably beats her with a phone book or something, Yeah. It was interesting. But anyway. So that's the movie news. Go and see Street Smart if you can find it on beta or some shit. Yeah, $6 million.
Because you want to see Morgan Freeman cut a bitch. That's what you want to do.
Yep. It says, there it is. Yeah, it talks about something about. Oh, there you go. Pike then approaches Punchy, that's one of the whores, who initially refuses to answer his questions and unsuccessfully tries to seduce him. But when she later tries to tell Smalls she wants to stop turning tricks for him, Smalls threatens to cut out her eye, and he makes Punchy choose which eye he will take. After she tearfully chose her left eye, Smalls relents and lets her go, et cetera, et cetera. Yeah, and there you go. Yeah, that's pretty much it. But that was the most memorable scene right there. I don't even remember Christopher Walken being in the damn thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's me and my ex-brother-in-law went and saw it, and we actually had a few wine coolers, He was
Bartles and James?
Yeah, or some shit. And and then when the scary movie came on, the one with the the hellmouth thing, he conveniently went to sleep. He did that. He couldn't take scary movies. And we're in the back of his Ford Ranger pickup in Chase Lounge lawn chairs. I mean, just shoved up in there, so yeah, it was pretty
the homemade version of the Subaru Brat.
What was it? Shit, pretty much. You see, it was. But yeah, planes taking off and shit. So there you go.
Cool.
Well, we've been on about 2 hours now, and I don't know where we at, Bob. How you feeling about it? We should ask Brittany.
Well, if we're at Brittany would like for us to stay all night.
Yeah,
That's what Brittany would like.
Well, look at the way she's holding her tits.
Right.
Those shorts are just barely on her. I mean, sure, it looks like
a brisk wind would take care of that problem.
Sure, like if you're laying under her, it looks like, the dog from Turner and the Hooch is standing over you, but...
That slobbering thing. Do you remember that?
Yes, I do. I think they've made a series now of it.
Really?
Yeah, a new, Turner and Hooch series. It's like, do I really need to see that much dog slobber?
Right.
So yeah, when she stands over you, it looks like she's got a pet boxer that just wandered up and was looking down at you. What the fuck's going on?
I'd still take a look.
Oh yeah, definitely. I'm not saying I'd kick her out of bed. Come on, let's be realistic.
Shit.
And I don't care if it looks like a large, they unearthed a large mussel shell from deep in the ocean and cracked it open and it's just hanging there. It's be like, I love seafood. So yeah. Go ahead and give Morgan that stinky clam. That's my Morgan Freeman imitation, and it sucks. I love doing it.
If I remember correctly, there's an app that you can buy that they have simulated Morgan Freeman's voice, and you can actually do a text to type or text to talk. So you type in what you want Morgan Freeman to say, and they've actually got the voice synthesizer set to do that. Now they did that a few weeks back in a movie. Anthony Bourdain. They've got a biopic of him out now.
Really?
That's really good. And what they did was there was a letter that he had written, and they had used artificial intelligence to simulate his voice, his tonal inflections, it sounded just like him. I didn't even realize that there was a controversy or anything until afterwards. But it's basically Anthony Bourdain narrating his life through this movie. And they only used like 2 minutes. 2 minutes of the movie was what they fabricated him saying, but it was realistic enough that you got to wonder if that technology is actually available to use.
Yeah.
That could really be used for nefarious purposes because there's a lot of people that have distinct voices.
You bet. But also we could hear those voices, for years. I mean, think about it. The estate of Samuel L. Jackson, will be paid whatever for the use of his voice to read books on tape or some shit for, and that could provide for a great actor's family for decades, especially if they're a great voice. So, but I can tell you probably get them a lot cheaper if it's Bobcat Goldthwait's voice. That's
what, after Police Academy 8 funds run out?
Yeah, no shit. Bobcat Goldthwait reads books on tape. Fuck off. Or God, yeah, there's several people I know that I wouldn't want to hear their voice simulated or in person. So anyway, that's about all I got, man.
All right, well, let's get out of here and we'll pick up again next week. Hopefully Brian will be recovered enough to actually make it in.
Look, if they've half mooned him so far, all he's got is the wart croissant. I think he should be done by tomorrow evening.
All right, well, have a good week, man.
All right, everybody. We'll see you next week. Have a good weekend. Stay out of trouble. Try to make choices that are acceptable that Bob and I would make.
And always make Daddy happy.
Amen.
Thanks for stopping by for a drink. I hope you enjoyed hanging out. Next time, invite some friends. Like and subscribe so you won't miss out the next time we are at the bar.
What's up? That felt pretty good, right?
That was great.